The media drums are beating today after Gina Rinehart swooped on Fairfax Media overnight, doubling her stake to nearly 10%. Questions are being asked about what Australia's richest woman might be up to, whether she wants to increase her holding to around 15%, which would make her the company's biggest individual shareholder. It's prompted the Communications Minister to say he'd like a stronger public interest test on media ownership laws. The mining magnate already owns 10% of the 10 network. So what is her game plan? Steve Allen is a media analyst and managing director of Fusion Strategy.
Well, clearly she wishes to participate in the shakeout of what's happening in the media area, and she's acted before the government releases its new form of deregulation, and she wants to have a seat at the table to influence.
Both the government and the opposition were asked today if they had any problems with Gina Rinehart trying to buy up more of the media. Here's what they had to say. Firstly, Penny Wong talking to News 24's Michael Rowland.
It's obviously a matter for her if she chooses to do that.
Is it good for a single person to own such a big stake in two of the biggest media assets in the country?
Look, I think politicians, from a politician's perspective, we've got to deal with the media as they come, regardless of who owns them, and answer questions from all of you, and that's the way I approach it.
The bottom line here is it has a strong board, editorial independence, and quite frankly, Gina Rinehart is a good person and a good Australian.
Let's take up that point from Joe Hockey, Steve Allen. If Gina Rinehart wants a greater voice in debates on the mining and carbon taxes and climate change, does she run into a strong barrier between the editorial staff and the Fairfax board?
You'd have to say historically, yes. It's under the custodianship of the Fairfax family, who are now no longer shareholders. It was always a church and state organisation where what happened in the boardroom and what happened with their commercial interests were well divorced from editorial and editorial influence. One has to imagine, given what Fairfax has built up over 175 plus years, that the board would be very reluctant to change that model.
Do you think that she would want to buy Fairfax outright? She can certainly afford it.
I wouldn't think so. She's shown no sign of that. I mean, after all, she came into owning substantial stakes in media assets really out of left field. No one expected it. And it's very clear that she wants to participate in what she sees as the future and future debates of Australia. And of course, she's got a track record, as her father had, of being very strong supporters of mineral wealth and exploration, and very strong supporters of the West Australian state.
Steve Allen, thank you.
Pleasure.